you will become like what you worship. You will become like whatever you put your attention toward. And that's a little bit weird, but I want to read to you Psalm 115. I'm actually going to start in verse 1. I'm not sure if I've got that much of it up on the PowerPoint. If you got your Bible, you can look at that. Psalm 115 and verse 1. Here's what it says right at the start. It says, "Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name be the glory, because of your love and faithfulness. Why do nations say, where is their God? Our God is in heaven. He does whatever pleases him." Now that's the voice of somebody whose love song is going to God right there. But then we get a little bit different picture as we go down to verse 4. Speaking of people who have another something that they sing love songs to. It says, "But their idols are silver and gold, made by the hands of men. They have mouths but cannot speak, eyes but they cannot see. They have ears but cannot hear, noses but they cannot smell. They have hands but cannot feel, feet but they cannot walk. Nor can they utter a sound with their throats." This is speaking of other things that worship, idols, things that people have made, things that are not God, that people put their affection toward. "Those who make them will be like them, and so will all who trust in them." What is this saying? If you worship and put your attention toward the one true living God through Christ, which is God, and worship Him, and put your love song to Him, you will be like Him. You will be alive. He's alive. He's not dead. He's not a figment of imagination. He is real. He is the living God. In fact, that was the name that all the people had for the God of Israel back in the Old Testament. It said they served the living God because He was not an idol. He was not stone. If your love song goes to Him, you will be made alive. That's why you will see Christians, and they will be the most bright-eyed people that you know, and they will be happy, and they will be full of joy, and they will be full of light. Why is that? Because they worship something that is not something, but He is the living God. You will be like what you worship. And then also, in the same way, if you worship something dead, you will be dead. It will be just like that. It will just be a thing. It will be spontaneous. It will be for a moment. It will have about as much glory as that thing does, which is not much, and it will not last forever. And that's why you find so many people that are chasing after all these sorts of things, and they are down, and they are flat, and they are depressed. It's because they are worshiping, and their affection is going towards something that is not alive. You will become like whatever you put your affection toward. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I want to talk for just a second. Shift gears a little bit. I want you to understand that your love song, your worship, is a lot more than just Sunday morning coming to church. Obviously, we come to church, and this is called, we call it our worship experience. This is a worship service. That's exactly what it is, but it's far more than that. And it's far more than just 20 minutes of music. That's for sure. But what I want to do is, for just a couple of minutes, I do want to talk about what we do here on Sunday morning. I want to talk about the worship service. And in this context right here, there are three key players. You can follow along in your notes, okay? Three key players that we see as we come here is, first of all, there's the audience. That would be, you guys. You're sitting out here in chairs, and you're there, and you are kind of the consumer of what you see and what you take in. You're the receiver. And you can also be the critic. You can also like it or not like it, and you can sit there, and that gives you some power in a way. So that would be the audience. Then there is the performer. Well, who are the performers? The performers are the ones that are like me and like the people that are up here, and sometimes the videos when we show videos. Those are the performers. Those are the things that you're coming and you're seeing. And it sounds kind of weird to say that, but we are, for a moment in time, we're holding your attention and, in a way, kind of entertaining, so to speak. And then there's the third thing, and that would be the director. And hopefully, we would say that the director would be God. Hopefully. The audience, the performer, the director. Can you kind of see that? You kind of see how that works now? That right there, I want you to take that, and I want you to hear me very clearly about what I just said. That right there is the most common perception of what we're doing right now is. But what I want you to understand is what I just described to you is absolutely, 100%, totally wrong. That is not what we're doing here. Actually, there's only one element that you need to understand in this context. this, and that is that there is one audience, and that audience is God, and God alone. What are you saying, Andrew? I'm saying that whenever we gather together like this, in this context, we are coming before one audience, and that is God himself, who is here with us. And we are sitting here, and we are in awe, and we are singing a love song to him. That's it. This is not a performance. This is not entertainment. This is not a concert. You are not a consumer when you come here. And if you've got that in your mind, that needs to change today. You're not a consumer. You are a participant. Now think of it if we had that concept. Think of it if we thought, man, audience of God, audience of one. My attention, my love song to him. What would that change? Well, here's what would change. Instead of coming to worship, you would come worshiping. This would just be doing what you do during the week, except there's more people here. It's cool. That would be it. You know, one of the things that would change too, that I've noticed a lot, is one of the most dividing things that I have noticed about that has happened with churches, unfortunately, is what people would call the style of worship. Now here at Networks, our style of worship is pretty different than maybe what some would consider worship to be. And we're very intentional about doing that. It's very different. And that's something that people can either say, man, I love the style of music. I love the way that it was, or I didn't like it. I really, really hate it. I just can't relate to that. Actually, that is the wrong way to look at it. That's a consumer mentality. It's not about you. It's not about what you like. It's about him and what he likes. And what he likes is he wants your heart. He wants your song. I want to be real honest with you guys. If we did the style of music that I liked, I don't think anybody would come here. I'm serious. Because it would be classical music. It wouldn't have a lot of words. It'd be really long. It'd be way too mellow for you. And you might like it, I don't know. I worked for 5 years at a church that I love dearly. Some of those wonderful worship times. And honestly, I didn't really like the style of music that was there. I didn't really relate to it very well. But you want to know what? I have so much fun worshiping God there because it's so much not about that. It's about your heart, your song to him. Imagine we got that. It would be powerful. It would be amazing. You're not a consumer. You're a participant. Okay? Now here's the last question right here. This is a big one. It's a biggie. We're going to close. We're going to pray. Okay? I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to really think about it and try to think how you respond. And I'm going to respond to the question, but you respond in your own way, in your mind. Okay? Here's the question. Who is God to you? Who is God to you? When I say God, what comes into your mind? What do you think about? And then, follow-up question is, how do you respond to how you see him? Who is he? And how do you respond to him? Now, you answer that question for you. And I'm going to answer it out loud the way that I respond. When I say who is God, this is what I think of God. I think of the person that created the whole universe, who was here from the very, very beginning, who understands things that I cannot and will not even comprehend. I see him as the person that will be here at the very, very end and knows all of time and holds all of time in between. I see him as someone that is so big, bigger than all the problems in the whole world. And I see him as someone who created and formed me and knew exactly what he wanted to do for me and knew the time, in that time, I don't know where he wanted to put me. In space. In time and space. And he put me right there. That is who God is to me. And how did I respond to that?